Hello, this is KAJUKENBO Live coming out of South Lake Tahoe, California. I'm Senior Grandmaster HEMENES. This is Volume 2 of my series on certain people in the martial arts that has touched my life one way or another. I'm going to give them a little shout out, a little recognition, and maybe tell a few little stories and how I met them and so on and so on. I just did Great Grandmaster Gaylord. Here's a volume one, and these people that I'm doing is there's no particular order. I'm just going down the line. Um, but this next one is a very special person to me. This is Grandmaster Willis, and we've been friends for close to 50 years. And in life, you don't find that many people that have that many friends in that period of a time. Um, but I've been blessed to have him as my friend. Um, I can call him my brother. In fact, he means more to me than my brother does because that's just the way it is. Um, I met Grandmaster Willis in the 70s. Uh, he started taking karate from Senior Grandmaster Vargas. Remember, again, we were young kids. And I remember Nate Wilberg brought him in. And I remember seeing him, and it's like, whatever, because Vargas had a lot of students, and I think that's too much of it. But how we got close, and it's kind of a funny story, is back in those days, we didn't wear feet pads or hand pads and stuff like that. You just, we wore the insteps, went over the toe, the instep and the shin. And we usually just wore hand wraps, and we wrap them with tape really tight so when you hit somebody, it really hurt. You didn't have to wear gloves back then. But we did have some feet pads and some hand pads just to have it in our bag. And I remember we were fighting in Oakland Auditorium in Oakland. And I competed, and I didn't know what to do. I looked down and I'm all, where'd my feet pads go? Because they used to hang on the outside of my bag. Now, he'll probably deny the story, but it did happen this way. And then I looked down and I'm all, what the hell happened to my feet pads? And one of the students goes, Jimmy's got him. They used to call him Jimmy Jive. Jimmy Jive's got him. I go, what? I look over there and here he's out there fighting away. He's got my feet pads on, all sweaty. And I got kind of a phobia on that, everybody else is sweating and stuff. I'm all, God damn. He didn't even ask. So he gets done fighting. I'm all, dude. I go, those are my feet pads. Oh yeah, I borrowed them. That's what started a 50-year friendship. Was over a pair of feet pads. So after that, we started, talking, hanging out a little bit, and every weekend we'd go to tournaments. And all Vargas had a pretty good group, and me and Jimmy was always together. We'd go as, young color belts and stuff like that. And we started competing and stuff like that. And then later on, down the line, it just became myself and Grandmaster Willis that represented Senior Grandmaster Vargas because everybody else stopped going to the tournaments and stuff because he stopped going and stuff. But it was kind of a cool situation because every day we were at class, and the weekends we were at tournaments, and if it wasn't at a tournament, we were hanging out, going to the show, going here, going there. I was up at his house, and he came to my house. In fact, his mom used to call me, I was her white son, and my mom would say, this is her black son, and we had a kind of a joke going on. And the funny thing is, to this day, in fact, even today, we mess with each other and tease each other and joke with each other. Pretty much, a lot of it's the same jokes we did, 50 years ago. I'm not gonna say some of the jokes because I don't want to get anybody offended. But that's how close we were. And like I said, we went to tournaments, and he was a little bit below me on the rank and stuff like that. Not because of his talent wise, it was because Senior Grandmaster Vargas had done him wrong and kept him as a lower belt for quite a few years for something, he really didn't deserve. He was way better than what Vargas did to him. But obviously, look at him now. He's topped most of all of them. Anyway, so we go to the tournaments and stuff like that. We win. We go out and eat. We fought in the teams. My mom and dad would take us out to Chinese food after, or feet would be all blistered from the hardware floors and stuff. And we never lost that bond as being a friend to each other. No matter what it was, we had that bond. And the sad part is that when he got a little bit older, like I said again, we started dominating the tournaments, me and him. Like for example, when we were younger, we would go out and we would get home to like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Had to leave at 6 o'clock to be in a certain area for the tournament the following day. I remember fighting on teams, and both of us laying across the bleachers up there, out like a light, because we were out all night. And Tamika-san, Sifu Tamika-san from Vargas, yelling at us, told us to get our asses up. And that's what you get for being out all night. I remember the first fight I fought. He used to be the heavyweight PKA champion, and remember in teams it didn't make a difference with the weight. And I was only a lightweight, he was a heavyweight, believe it or not. And I remember him kicking me across the auditorium. I slid on my ass all the way across, and I was just going, I'm like, wow. And I can hear Tammy's voice in my ear. That's what you get, and I'm like, wow. Anyway, long story short, I wound up winning, and then Jimmy won his fight and stuff like that. And we wound up taking first place. And we did this for years and years. And now getting back to the sad part is, as he got older one day, he joined the service. And it literally broke my heart. Because not that he wouldn't be my friend anymore, it's because I was losing my best friend that I was with every day and every weekend. We were at tournaments together. We were like salt and pepper. We were always together, no matter where we went. And it was so sad, and to this day, he doesn't know this, but this day, the day he had to leave, I cried like a baby all the way home. All the way home, cried like a baby, because I was losing my best friend. But, then, like I said, then later on I got my own studio, and, he kept competing in Texas and all over pretty much all over the world. He fought in Germany and stuff, and I brought him up to his black belt and at the 4th degree. And it was just funny because, here's just two guys that were, we started with Vargas as white belts, and here's I'm dominating the United States, the California area, and he's dominating like Texas and stuff like that. So from even that far of a distance, that bond was there. I flew there a couple of times, and watched him fight and stuff like that. And he wound up being one of the top competitors. He's been rated many years in Karate Illustrated magazine, the same as myself. And it's just kind of a funny thing because we went back and we were talking just today about it. And to think about two young guys that couldn't wait to get their purple belt or green belt or whatever, out of all the students, wind up staying, become, grandmaster, senior grandmaster, and running our own organizations and our own studios and stuff. That's a life achievement goal. And when we were younger, we would never thought that would happen. I always wished that, that's what I wanted to do for my living was I always wanted to teach karate. And like I said, he had gone into service, and that half of me, was missing because, he wasn't there every week, to root me on, and I wasn't there to root him on and stuff. But in those, 50 years, that bond has never left myself or him. We like all people, we've had our disagreements, and we might not talk for a certain amount of time, but the bond was never broken. The love wasn't broken. we can not talk for a certain period of time, and then we start talking. It's like I talked to him yesterday. You know, nothing's changed. The same joke, same everything. Um, and that's it. That's how friends. That's how lifetime friends are. Is when you have somebody in your life that um, you can always turn to, and say, hey, what do you think about this? And you know, I've talked to him. I've cried on the phone. He's talked to me. He's cried on the phone. I mean, how many people really can do that, or say they can? But like I said, the times that we didn't talk, it just wasn't his fault. Of course, me and my ego, I just blame him. Period. But it just wasn't him. It was me too. I was wrong. We were both kind of wrong on a few things we did. But that's growing up, and that's part of life. If you don't make mistakes and you don't make a bad choice once in a while, that's not reality. Everybody makes a bad choice. Everybody makes or says something wrong or whatever that they wish they can take back and stuff. But the thing that could never be taken is the bond, again, that we have. And that's what I wish a lot of people could have, or even have a taste of that. And there's a lot of people out there that have good friends. They sure, we ain't the only ones, but we pretty much, had each other backs no matter what. Even though we didn't get along and stuff like that, we might, blah, blah, blah with each other and stuff like that. But that's just like, two hens just talking crap to each other. That really didn't mean anything, And the good times we had, I could never replace that with anybody. We had the most best times that I've ever had. And the laughter. All I did was I almost pee myself because of the laughter and stuff. Then the jokes and stuff. And like again, I can't say the jokes because a lot of people can get offended. But to this day, we can do that. Las Vegas trips. All over the trips. The jokes we played on each other and stuff. It's just a wonderful thing to have. And I can say from my bottom of my heart, I'm such a lucky person to have a friend like him. And I love him very much. Very much. And to the day I die, I'll have that bond and that love for that man. Because like I said, we grew up together. There's been people that try to get in between us. And the one thing you don't realize is no matter what you could say, a good friend will always come to the other good friend and say, hey, this is going on. And when I'm not saying anything out in public, but, I'm like, okay, thanks for telling me. And, vice versa and stuff like that. And like I said, I know I can always pick up the phone, and talk to him, and he'll be there for me. Just like I'm always there for him no matter what, But I just thought I'd bring that up. And I mean, like I said, he wound up being one of the top martial artists, and competitors, from the young boy, almost giving up, because of what Vargas did to him, and maybe starting off a little slow, to wind up being one of the top competitors. He's been in movies, commercials, like I said, Karate Illustrated magazines, same thing as myself. And so who would think two young guys walking into Vargas' studio would wind up doing what we accomplished in our lifetime in the martial arts? There's not too many people that can say they did that. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great martial artists out there. It's just between me and him and our dreams, they did come true. Anyway, I have to make this video. Again, I love Grandmaster Willis. He's my best friend for life. And I wouldn't know what to do without him, to be honest with you. So I hope you enjoyed this little segment. My next one's going to be about Al Novak, great Grandmaster Al Novak. I'll try to make 2 a week, and we'll go ahead and get those out. But again, I'm blessed that you guys can watch this, and maybe hopefully enjoy, or maybe learn something from it. So again, I'm Senior Grandmaster Jimenez from the Worldwide KAJUKENBO Federation. This is KAJUKENBO Live coming out of South Lake Tahoe. So again, I'll talk to you again.